What's up, everybody? It's J and J with Justin and Jordan. Justin, what do we got going on today? It's actually a Friday night. It's cold outside. What's going on, bro?
Man. So today we got the NBA Cup Final Four predictions. We got Jimmy Butler trade rumors because it's going crazy right now. Him versus Shams low-key beefing. We got the Franz Wagner injury. We got our top 5 MVP ladder. And we got CP3, second all-time in assists. Shout out to him. And we got Dyson Daniels' funny-ass comments.
Let's get the the CP3 thing out the way. I think it does deserve to be first. Shout out to CP3. If you guys didn't see, he did pass Jason Kidd to be second all-time in assists. So big congrats to him. Even J Kidd, like his gap between him and everyone else that isn't Stockton, it seems so huge. I didn't think anyone would even pass Kidd, forget Stockton. Same thing with the steals. But for CP3 to pass him in assists, like, I'll just say I'm a CP3 fan, even through all the hate he's gone through, controversial shit. I've been a CP3 fan for a minute now. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he was able to do it. Happy that everyone that's ever played with him gave him a big shout out. And hopefully, bro, he could keep doing this. I don't know how much longer, but he looks really good out there still. So I'm really happy for him.
I think he said he's gonna play for like two more years max.
After this?
Yeah, he said 1 to 2 more years. I forgot who he was doing the interview with, but he said like 1 to 2 more years.
Maybe he really thinks Wemby could get him there soon. I ain't gonna lie. But big shout out to CP3. Justin, if you have anything to say about that too as well before I even ask you this next question.
You know what's crazy now that we're talking about this? I don't know if you want to talk about it on the show.
What's up?
The Paul George shit. Because I was about to give some flowers to bless you to CP.
Sorry.
But bless you.
Good looks.
As I was thinking about it, I just remembered the Paul George shit. But shout out to CP though. Point guard, being second all time in assists, fucking tough. I would love to see him pass Stockton, but that's gonna be tough to do.
It's not even tough. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. But shout out to him though. He's been doing it for a long time. I think he gonna be 40 in May in 2025.
May 4th or 6th. I forget if he's a day before or after my birthday.
He's May 6th.
Yeah.
So he gonna be 40. But yeah, he's been like the standard of like excellence for point guards for a long time, damn near 20 years. And to see the results that he's been giving out, we saw times where like, shit, is the end of CP near? And nah, he just shut that shit off real quick. And for him to still be in like an actual contributor at this age and at this stage of his career is still very impressive to me. And he's one of the basketball players that like I would show like younger generations, like, yo, if you're a small guard, look at CP3 because he plays the game the right way, bro.
And his game actually transitions to today too. Specifically, I would say, obviously the one that shot much more threes than his NOLA days. I would definitely say like Rocket CP3. That's the specific CP3 I would show to young guys because you're still getting that 3-point volume, but you're also still getting a little bit of that midi magic, and obviously you're still getting incredible playmaking, which is, I know people kind of underrate the Thunder era. Some people kind of underrate what he did with the Suns. Like, people like to focus on the Clippers mostly in New Orleans. Some love to the Suns, but I would say the Rockets one was probably like one of the most slept on versions of CP3. Obviously, the Warriors one was the worst one. We don't really got to talk too much about that one. Him on the Spurs right now looks much better than the Warriors version of Chris Paul. But that Rockets CP3, I think it's one of the better versions of him. And I don't think it's talked about enough. I know the injury shit that happened against the Warriors the first go around kind of overshadows everything. But he was phenomenal and still in MVP talks, bro.
Do you have a favorite version of CP3?
In terms of like a specific year or a specific team? Like, what do you mean?
Team.
Well, the very best version, obviously, I'm always going to say New Orleans, specifically 07-08. He was still dunking on motherfuckers. Phenomenal playmaker. That was when he was scoring at his best. He was averaging like 23 points per game. Talking about a guy who was averaging 23 and 11, 23 and 12. Still phenomenal defensively. Probably the best defensive point guard at that time because J Kidd was getting older. Rondo wasn't really coming into his own yet. He was still a rookie at the time. So CP3 was probably the best defensive point guard at the same time too, while being maybe the first or second best playmaker between him and Steve Nash in the league at that time, while still scoring more than Nash. So obviously, I would definitely say New Orleans. I guess you could kind of go in order of his career. Some people might say that the Suns CP3 is better than the Rockets one. It's close, but I would take Rockets CP3 over Thunder and Suns, especially early Suns.
I really fuck with Suns CP3.
Me too. Bro, he was top 5 MVP voting the first year around. That was crazy.
And then was it 2022 when they played the Pelicans and he just fucking shut the door on the motherfuckers by
21-22? Yes.
Yes, that was crazy.
He was doing his thing. So I would definitely say New Orleans CP3 is the best one. But if you're asking my favorite, I would specifically say 12-13 CP3. That's probably my favorite version of Chris Paul, 12-13 specifically. Yeah. I think that was the year that they really should have. I know people talk about 14-15 and shit like that. I think 12-13 was really that year for them to go to the finals.
Yeah.
They're a really good team. What do you think was the best version? Best or favorite?
My favorite, I mean, when I started watching ball, I didn't get to watch Hornets CP3. I started watching basketball later. But I do go back and watch like the Dawkins, like him versus Tony Parker, him versus Steve Nash. Like he was bugging the fuck out. And he has some bounce. But nah, OD, pause. But my favorite version of CP3 is Clippers. Like woohoo. Like but my second,
there's nothing wrong with that answer too.
Yeah.
You feel me?
My second favorite version of CP is probably between Phoenix or OKC.
Damn, not Houston? I really love Houston, Chris Paul,
I like
bro.
Houston CP.
He ditched the sleeves. You feel me? No more arm sleeve.
I liked it, but fucking shit, James Harden overshadowed that nigga.
Yeah.
But OKC was just lit just because that team had no business being in the playoffs. And they had like a 0 point whatever chance to make the playoffs, and they were like a 5th seed. And that
4-5 matchup, yeah.
Yeah, and that whole season because I was watching a lot of Thunder games that year. Because I picked up Shea in fantasy because he was just a waiver pickup.
Pickup is so crazy at the time, just hearing that.
Yeah. And then I was just watching them a lot. And it was a fun team. It was a feel good year. They ran that 3-guard lineup with him, Shea, and Dennis Schroeder. I think Gallinari was on that team.
Correct. Dort would come in too, and they'll
Dort was
the
a
3
rookie.
guards.
Yeah. Was Enes Kanter on that team?
No,
he wasn't.
He was long gone.
But that team was really fun to watch. And then the Phoenix team was fucking amazing because it was like, yeah, CP's older, but this team, we saw what they did in the bubble at the end, and shit, they look like one of the best teams in the league. And then 2022, they just came out the gate, best team in the league, best record in the league, and he was the captain of that team, and he was, like you said, top 5 in MVP.
Yeah, he was like top 5, top 6.
Yeah, so he was fucking disgusting. Like, and his mid range was elite in the playoffs. Like the shit he was doing. I know the Nuggets were without Murray and I think Porter played 21. But Chris Paul was fucking them up in that series. Holy shit. But yeah, those are like my favorite versions right there. The Warriors one fucking sucks. Like
garbage.
I didn't watch that shit, bro.
That shit was so
The
bad.
Houston one was good, but James Harden was just doing so much that like you had your eyes on him the whole time. Pause.
I like the Thunder one because they really sent him out to die figuratively, because it was like, all right, we traded him for Russ. Russ is still this triple-double superstar. We're going to have him and Harden have a reunion, hopefully go win a championship. And it's like, all right, CP3, go play with these young guys. Let's see what happened. And I think OKC even offered him like a buyout to leave and shit. And he was like, nah, I'll just stay here, which is even more gangster in my opinion. And like you said, he took him to the playoffs. And, obviously he took Shea under his wing. I'm not going to like sit here and pretend like Shea has said something about CP3 or not. But I would assume if you ask Shea about the impact CP3 has had on his career, he would definitely say it was a really big fucking impact by far. So the question I had ready for you, Justin, and I actually thought about while walking to your crib right now, was where does CP3 rank as an all-time playmaker? Now you got Stockton, who has the record. You do have Magic, Bron, Jokic, J. Kidd, Nash. If I'm forgetting anybody else, I think he's better than Westbrook. That's not even a conversation. He's better than Rondo. Like Isaiah Thomas, the OG one, like that's 7 guys who are kind of in that conversation. I don't believe I've missed anybody. Where do you think that he ranks as an all-time playmaker?
Damn, I thought he was gonna say all-time point guard.
All-time point guard, we could do that too, but playmaker first.
All-time playmaker. Well, Bron is better.
Yeah.
Magic better. Jokic better.
You think Jokic is a better playmaker than CP3?
Are you talking about specifically like passing or like just generating offense?
Both.
I would say so. Yeah.
Is he a better playmaker? Is Steve Nash a better playmaker than CP3?
Steve Nash. I feel like they're damn near like neck and neck.
Absolutely.
I would take CP over J Kidd. I love J Kidd, like playmaking wise, but CP just as a scoring threat just gives you more. I know Jason Kidd in the playoffs, like he would turn up and would give you like a 21, 8 and fucking 12 game.
Absolutely.
But like I've seen Chris Paul give you like a 34 and like 13 assist game in the playoffs. Like I've seen that shit too. I would say Chris Paul and Steve Nash are like neck and neck. You're really splitting hairs because Steve Nash also could, if he really wanted to, could give you 30 and 15 in a playoff game.
He's done it, bro.
Yeah,
Put
he's
up
done
40
it, yeah.
and 10 only because 48 only because he needed to.
And Chris Paul, we've seen it with him. He could literally be that mid-range assassin. Jason Kidd, for most part of his career, the shot was like
terrible.
Yeah, so I would say Chris Paul and Steve Nash is neck and neck, but Chris Paul is over J Kidd. Isaiah Thomas, yo, they might be grouped together.
IT at his peak, I think, averaged 13.9, the highest.
Yeah, and he could get you a bucket too, bro.
Absolutely.
Like
he was averaging 20 and 13.
The 88 finals when he fucked up his Achilles, and yo, he was still getting buckets, bro.
Still hooping.
I feel like they're gonna be in the same tier. Nash, CP, Isaiah Thomas. CP's over Stockton to me. Yeah.
No hesitation. Wow.
Yeah. Cause Stockton has the highlights like
I wouldn't even say he has the highlights, he just has the numbers.
Yeah, he got the numbers, he got the game winning 3 against the Rockets. Like, but like I wasn't looking at Stockton like, yo, go get us a bucket. Like, it was really that pick and roll with him and Karl Malone. Karl Malone was a dog. Like, most of their offense was really ran through them two and Karl Malone finishing the plays. But John Stockton wasn't really like a super duper like, oh yeah, closeout game, I'm gonna give us 35. So I would take CP in that instance, and then I don't know, remember the other names you said.
I mean, that was basically it. I mean, Rondo, he's outclassed Rondo.
Yeah, Rondo's had like big blow up games, but it's like,
and even at his absolute best, that was just a regular CP3 year.
Yeah,
honestly, and I think it's way fucking better than Westbrook. I guess him and Harden. Let's not sleep on Harden as a playmaker. Harden's an all-time playmaker in his own right.
Yes, he is. Him and James Harden. That one's tough. Damn, bro. Him and James Harden.
And they played together. That's a crazy part.
Yeah, they did play together. I would low-key... Damn, that's low-key like splitting hairs too, because I was gonna lean Chris Paul a little bit more, just because some of the teams like reaching the playoffs or like going farther with some teams. But then James Harden has also had teams where it's like
no business.
Yeah, no business. So that's low-key like splitting hairs too. Because James Harden, we obviously know the motherfucker average is 30. And will give you 11 assists. I think I'm gonna just go CP just for
CP3 still better.
Just for it being more impressive because he's 6 foot. Like he shouldn't even be doing that shit.
That I mean, you do have a point.
Because it's so close. I'm gonna just give CP the slight edge because he's a 6 foot guard, bro. He shouldn't be doing that shit.
Me personally, I will go. The only niggas ahead of CP3 is Bron, Magic, and Steve Nash. After that, I'm giving CP3 number 4. I think he's slightly better than Jokic. I understand what you mean with the gravity and stuff, but because I did tell you both, you guys, playmaking or like generating offense, and I said either one. In terms of passing, though, I do still think CP3 is superior. I think he's better than Nash. I think he's outclassed Nash at this Sorry, he's outclassed Kid.
Oh, Kid.
Kid was the next name I was going to go into. I think Isaiah Thomas, phenomenal playmaker. I'm going to slightly tax him for playing that high pace in the 80s, which was the fastest pace of all time in the league. So I'm going to put a small little tax on that. I still do think that he's better than Harden as well because, yes, if you put Harden on a team that was basically a lock for the playoffs, but it was the same thing with CP3 too, and for a much longer time. So, and not only that, what I'm also putting a lot of emphasis on is he took care of the ball better than anyone else in history, in my honest opinion.
Assist to turnover ratio was insane. Bro.
We saw this man have a 20-20 game with no turnovers and barely break a sweat.
Yeah.
So I think that's another important part too about playmaking that a lot of people don't really think about, which is taking care of the ball. Yeah, you could get 11 assists, but if you have 5 turnovers, it's like, that's kind of ugly. Like, I understand you had 6 more assists than you did have turnovers, but it's still ugly to have 5 assists. I don't really like my guys having more than 3 turnovers in a game if you like that primary ball handler. And CP3 will go games with just 1-0 most of the time. It was a rarity for him to have a high turnover game. Happens to everybody, but CP3, I don't think, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I don't think anybody in league history took care of the ball better than he did with how much that he was playing compared to these other guys that I'm naming.
Yeah.
So that makes him, to me, he's the 4th best playmaker of all time. And like you said, him and Nash is splitting hairs, but I think Bron and Magic do outclass him. I think those 2 guys are in a tier of their own.
Yeah.
Stockton's great as well, but I think CP3 is a tier ahead of him. So I would say it's like Bron, Magic in a tier, Nash. I would say Nash, Paul. I'll throw J Kidd in that tier as well. And then Stockton and IT and Harden could go in that 3rd tier that's available when it comes to all-time playmakers. And I'm not going to lie, Justin, like, I understand I've told you guys in like the chat, like, yo, I'm be sad when Bron leaves. Underrated guy that I'm really going to miss is CP3. You just said the man's about to be 40. I think because of how phenomenal Bron is playing right now, he's about to be 40 himself in 2 weeks. I think he's kind of destroyed our perception of longevity that I don't think people are appreciating CP3's longevity at this point in time. Yeah. He's not doing nothing crazy, but there's no reason at all that a near 40-year-old man should be doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, it makes me appreciate him more, especially after he broke the record. He was like, yo, I know people may think I'm an asshole, but it's just because I want to win. And I respect him. I respect a guy like that because the end of the day is basketball. And we understand if you're a competitor, that's just how shit is going to be. And that kind of ties into the Paul George shit.
Yeah, I will get into Paul George shit real quick. And we'll talk all-time PG rankings, but just real quick too, because since you did comment on that speech CP3 gave, I respect it a lot too because everyone wants to make fun of CP3 for no rings. CP 0 rings. He's a choke artist, whatever. Blew a 3-1 lead. But when it comes to, and I know I clown the mentality argument a lot in intangibles, but when it comes to a guy who, like, if you're ranking guys by their winning mindset and mentality, there's only a handful of guys that have a more like competitive mindset to them than CP3. It's only a few guys. That guy will do anything to win. And we've seen it. Untucked jersey. Hey, we're going to take that. We're going to take those points. Yo, ref, his jersey's fucking untucked, bro.
It's a delayed game.
You got to call that shit.
His jersey's untucked.
Yeah, you got to call that shit, bro. And like you said, he's an asshole. He'll play dirty. I can admit it. I'm a CP3 fan for a long time. For over 10 years. He plays dirty, but I hate that. Sounds like I'm excusing this, but it's because he wants to fucking win badly. He wants to win badly, you know? I think there's a couple guys who really want to win, and then, you know, once you got to pull something dirty. Look at Bron. You could argue him stepping over Draymond to get him suspended was dirty. You know, there's a lot of guys that do something dirty just so that they could get that extra advantage to win a basketball game. And I think CP3 in his own right is an incredible winner. It's just a shame that he doesn't have the championship to his name, and that's why people slander him. But regardless, one of the most winning players that I've seen in my lifetime. Fuck him not having a championship. I don't care.
Nah,
you add CP3 to a roster at his absolute best. You were winning 50 games. It don't matter who you put around him.
To me, like, even though Twitter would be like, oh, like, to me, Chris Paul is a winner. Even though Twitter would be like, bro, he has no fucking ring.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's a winner, bro. Check Absolutely. Anywhere he's gone. He's like where he is like a top dog. They've been more successful with him. The Warriors, He
That don't
wasn't.
count.
He wasn't the top dog.
But it's true. New Orleans was trash before he got there.
Yeah.
Made him a 50-win team.
The Clippers were a joke, bro.
The Clippers were a joke. Teamed up with a young Blake Griffin. They started winning. You had talks of, oh, this might be the new team in LA. Went to the Rockets. Yes, they had a conference finals appearance.
Houston was cool.
2 years before he got there. They were a good team. You had a superstar MVP caliber team in James Harden. But when he got there, that elevated them. And for a split moment, we thought there was a team that could beat the Warriors. At the end of the day, bro, like, I could be vulnerable and say this as a Bron fan. That was the only team that was beating that KD Warriors.
Shit.
And that team was more equipped to beat the KD Warriors than the 17 Cavs. And the 17 Cavs had the best offense of all time in that point in time.
Yeah.
And I still think that 18 Rockets team was better equipped to take down that Goliath.
Yeah.
And it's because of CP3.
Yeah.
CP3 went to the Suns, who were a joke for a couple years.
They were a joke for a decade.
Went to the bubble, though. Played really fucking good out of their mind. Missed the plan that they had invented for that point in time. Come back the next year. Win 50 games. The year after that,
OKC was
win
supposed to be a
60.
joke.
Oh, yeah, I skipped OKC as well. Went to OKC like we just said. They threw him out to the shed. Whatever, we want Russell Westbrook anyways. Went to OKC in exchange in that deal and cooked. And I don't think they won 50. I think they won 48.
Yeah, like
but
48.
It was 48, 49. It was close to 50 wins. Was a top 5 seed.
Team had no business.
It was just the Warriors, which he's old as hell. He wasn't no leader, no top dog, no top 4 player on the team.
That should have been a playing team.
Yeah, and then now he's on the Spurs and he's doing his thing. But CP3 for over a decade and a half, you put him on your team, you're damn near about to be a 50-win team.
Yeah.
And you're going to be a contender.
And that's impressive for a small guard.
Absolutely.
Only reason I was holding my laugh earlier, because like you were talking about how like he'll do whatever it takes to win. Yo, I'll never forget in 2019 when they played Golden State, when he told Steph Curry, get the fuck off the court.
Yeah, when he was shooting around. He said, get the fuck off.
He's like, get the fuck off the court.
But then he did cook.
And that's when Curry dropped 30 in the second half.
He did cook, but he said, get the fuck off the court. When he did the shimmy to Curry, like, he was not scared of the Warriors. He's one of the few players I wasn't scared of the Warriors, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He was not scared at all.
He wanted the smoke every single time. It's just unfortunate he could never beat him.
Yeah.
It really did start that he could never beat him. Before we tie this into the Paul George shit, though, Justin, we don't really talk too much all time in this pod, but PG rankings, where does he fall into? I only got two guys definitively ahead of him, honestly. Only 2 guys.
I feel like he'd be top 5.
Who's better?
Magic, Steph.
Me, I stop it right there. I'm just saying me, though. My opinion, that's it. That's it. It's just them 2 that's better.
Yeah, it was really just Magic, Steph, and I thought IT a little bit, yeah.
That's a fair case.
Magic, Steph, IT, and then after that, you could argue him, Steve Nash, and J Kidd.
Yeah, that's kind of like that last fit for
them.
Top 5.
Them 3 is like the argument.
Russ is not in there.
Nah,
Russ is not in there for me.
And then Oscar Robertson.
Oscar Robertson, unfortunately, does not make my top 5. Russ doesn't make my top 5.
Stockton's not in my top 5.
GP don't make my top 5, who's kind of slept on these top 10 point guard lists.
Yeah.
But like I told you right now, it's just Magic and Steph that's ahead of him for me. CP3 is the 3rd best point guard for me of all time. The latest I'll give anybody, like you said, is top 5. Anywhere outside of top 5, I don't really want to have a discussion about all-time PGs with you then. Because you cannot argue that Chris Paul is not a top 5 point guard of all time. Especially at his absolute best. At his absolute best, that window gets even smaller on who's better than him. But all time, I'm only taking Magic. I'm only taking Steph above him. Respect to IT, Nash, Kidd, Stockton, all these guys that you named, GP, Westbrook. But I would take CP3 over all those guys in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Absolutely. The only one, like you said, and we already mentioned earlier, Steve Nash is the only guy that's like going band for band with him. Respect to IT, but Steve Nash is the only guy going band for band with him. So shout out to Chris Paul, though. Always going to show Chris Paul love on the show. If what you said is true, that he's going to play 2 more seasons after this, I'll be happy.
Yeah, he said 1 to 2.
That means that at most he would retire at 42, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. It would be crazy. But moving into this PG comment. Man. It's so hard. I don't know how Paul George kind of finds new ways for him to get clowned on.
It's so hard not to try to not talk about this guy.
Yeah, I don't get how he does it. With how he said that CP3 crossed the line one time, whatever. The same way I said that CP3 is one of the most intense competitors, one of those guys who has an incredible winning mindset of all time. Paul George has the exact opposite, and that's why I understand neither of them have had the success that they wanted. But that's why CP3 has a more positive impact to teams compared to a Paul George when he arrives to them. And it's just shown in that quick little clip between him and Jamal Crawford where he's like, yeah, he kind of crossed the line one time, and I don't really talk to CP no more. Fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You're scared to talk to Chris Paul because he was shit talking you? That is ridiculous, bro. That's absolutely ridiculous. Unless you really did go too far and said something about your mother or something about your girlfriend or wife or whatever it is that you have. I strongly doubt he didn't cross no fucking line.
Yeah.
And knowing Paul George, I bet he said some shit and that was regular ball talk or whatever, regular insult, and he took that shit to heart for no fucking reason.
Probably.
That's just so weak to me, bro. I'm starting to get tired of it.
And it's crazy too, bro. Because even Jamal Crawford was there. He's like, yo, like, I've had to hit him in the face because we was going at it. But he's like, the thing that I love about CP is like, that shit is all basketball, bro. Mm-hmm. He's like, after the game is over, it's love. That's it. Like, it's nothing personal. But then that's where you see Paul George's personality or like his thought process. Because, like you said, CP ain't, I don't think he crossed no lines. And for Paul George to be like, yeah, I'm good off that. See, my thing is, Paul George, you could feel like whatever. But the fact that like he's talking about this shit is what makes him look like a goofball. Because he could feel that way, but he should have just kept it to himself. But he decided to speak on it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he kind of opened up, like he opened the segment with like, "Oh yeah, me and CP aren't really on the best of terms right now," and then blah blah blah, and then even titled it like the title was like, "Oh, why Paul George and CP3 don't get along, whatever." Yeah. I think that's the goofball shit.
And he didn't even explain what happened.
Yeah, he didn't even explain what happened. Like, if Chris Paul was like, motherfucker, you play fucking 40 games a year, and that's what got him tight. Shit, I would laugh in Paul George's face too. But I'm like, there's no way Chris Paul like crossed a line like that. Yeah. And I'm like, I think the fact that he's even speaking on it is what makes him look like a goofball. Cause you have Jamal Crawford right there. I'm like, like, he did probably worse shit to him, like hitting him and shit.
In practice, too.
Yeah, in practice. And they're still cool to this day. But I just thought that was some weak shit from Paul George.
I'm not surprised, bro. I'm really not surprised. I'm still more than good off Paul George.
And Paul George is like 6'9". He's acting like he can't smack the shit out of Paul George. I mean, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's 5'11" without shoes.
Yeah. Chris
Paul looked me in the eyes. Me and Chris Paul, I'm staring at him in the eyes. Pause. We making perfect eye contact. And you tell me Paul George is telling me that he's like, yeah, he crossed the line one time. You getting
offended by Chris Paul? I would hate for you to play against Prime KG.
Or Gary Payton.
Payton.
Bro, him playing against KG and Gary Payton in an all-star game when I had him crying. I'm not even trying to be funny. That would have this man fucking crying, bro, and bitch you on the podcast.
If he had to play against Prime Gary Payton in the bubble, he probably would have retired.
I was going to say something that was more inappropriate, but I'm going to let it slide. I'm not even going to say it.
I know exactly what you was going to say. And I was going to say it too, but I stopped myself.
I'm going to let it I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go, shit. Though. But yeah, bro, his podcast is just becoming an NBA version of The View, bro. He's just worried about gossiping. He's more worried about gossiping than winning games, bro. It's low-key getting ridiculous. Shit's getting frustrating.
What do you think is the all-time starting five of like, God damn, all these motherfuckers talk shit? Gary Payton at the one.
Gary Payton, Jordan. I think this is kind of easy. Gary Payton, Jordan,
Larry
Bird, KG. Who's running the center though is the question. There's not really.
Was Ben Wallace really talking?
He wasn't really talking shit that I know of.
He wasn't enforcing shit though.
Yeah, he was fucking niggas up, but I wouldn't say that he was out here talking shit. It's kind of weird. Centers wasn't really talking shit. I mean, Shaq was doing his thing, but it's not like he was talking shit. He was just dominant. Hakeem was just threatening and would slap the shit out of somebody. I've never heard of Patrick Ewing talking shit. Moses Malone. Kareem was just throwing hands in the 70s.
Bill Laimbeer was just throwing niggas.
Was he talking shit too, though? I could be wrong.
Probably.
You could say him. Embiid. I know we call Embiid a lot. Embiid could be in that conversation. Embiid has drawn people into getting texts, bro, and then celebrated after numerous times. You can't even count on two hands.
I was gonna say unless you slide Charles Oakley to the 4, KG to the 5.
If you want, or vice
or
versa.
Or Rasheed Wallace at the 4, KG at the 5.
That's probably the one. That's probably the one. But absolutely that.
Wait, what? Draymond?
Nah, you're right.
Draymond. You ain't Kobe?
Yeah, that
they don't
shit,
love you like that.
Low key, hold on. Paul Pierce would be on 6 Man too. Where he said,
he's like, both you niggas ugly.
Y'all the two ugliest brothers by far. By far. He said it like 4 times. Mind you, one of these niggas was on his team. He said by far.
Who is he talking about?
Huh?
Who is he talking about?
What do you mean? The Teague brothers.
Oh, the Teague brothers.
Yeah, Marquise and Jeff. He said by far. By far. I'm trying to think what team.
No.
Was Marquise a Clipper? Or was he a Wizard?
I know he was on the Bulls for sure.
But the thing is, I don't know how they would interact because Jeff Teague was there too. Him and Marquise were playing against each other. Unless they were on the same team at one point. I don't think they were ever on the same team. Were they on the Pacers together?
Maybe that's what
I'm about to fact check. Maybe they were playing together. But if Marquise was his teammate and he's saying you and your brother are ugly as shit, that's funny, bro. To be honest with you, that is comedy. Yeah. He said by far. He said actually like
Marquise played for the. Oh, he played for the Nets. That's what it was. So it was probably Nets Hawks.
Okay, so he was playing with Marquise on the Nets, talking shit to Jeff Teague.
2013-14, he was on the Nets. Yeah.
And Jeff was still on the Hawks.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's coming off the bench.
Who else is coming off the bench?
Kobe could come off the bench.
Vernon Maxwell.
Oh, Vernon Maxwell. Who did he say scammed him out of 10 bands recently? Did you see that video? What? You didn't see it?
Nah.
I'm going to find it, bro. He said, don't lend money to this motherfucker. And he went on a 2-minute rant on a selfie video saying, do not give money to this man. I give him 10 bands. And yeah, he never paid me back. Nigga violated, bro. Let me find that shit.
Fuck. I feel like that does sound familiar, though.
I think I saw that shit last week, bro. I was crying.
Yeah, Vernon Maxwell got to be there.
Mad Max. Vincent Askew, yeah.
Oh,
he said never lend him money, bro. And he lent him like 10 bands or something. He never paid him back.
Damn, who else is on that list? Nah, I'm not going to put Perk.
We are not putting no big fucking Perk.
Damn. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Like, I mean, I just saw a clip randomly because I looked up.
Oh, Ant-Man. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I was going to say.
KD.
Yeah, I was going to say Xavier McDaniels.
You talking shit like that on the Supersonics?
Yeah, I just saw a clip right now where
Big X.
What's it called? Charles Oakley literally was pointing his finger in that motherfucker's face, talking to him, and that motherfucker just stared him down and walked towards him and started swinging. And then the rest came in, so I'm like, shit. He went toe to toe with Oak. I'm like, yeah, he's like that,
bro. He's bugging the fuck out, bro. Mad Max is definitely on there. I'm good. I'm glad you gave him that shout out. I would not have thought about that, but that interview he did with Jeff Teague, and then that video about Vince Askew was fucking funny, bro. He's Hall of Fame. Put that man in the Hall of Fame just for that, just for those 2 videos, bro. Shout out to him. And when I saw that Jeff Teague title of the episode, I'm like, how the fuck do I want to listen to Vernon Maxwell? All due respect, and that shit was his best episode by far. It's not even close.
Gilbert Arenas isn't. I wouldn't consider him
CP.
CP.
We just talked about him. We didn't even put him in the bench.
I don't consider Gilbert Arenas like a super trash talker, but the shit he be saying sometimes, like in interviews, is funny as fuck. That like, I feel like he's the type of guy that like he says his thoughts out loud and it might rub somebody wrong.
Yeah, he has no filter.
He got no filter. Like when he was on Vlad and he was talking about at the Jordan camp where Jordan was like, "You remind me of one of my teammates," and Gilbert Arenas was like, "Oh, he about to say I remind him of Pippen or himself," and he was like, "You remind me of Randy Brown." He's like, "Nigga, who?"
Honestly, I thought you were about to say Craig Hodges or something. I don't even know who the fuck Randy Brown is.
He was like Randy Brown. He's like, that motherfucker don't even play. He's like, I'm an assassin. He's like, I'm not him.
Hold on, low key Steph on a low key way.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, he talk shit, bro. Remember when he hit that halftime buzzer beater on Jaylen Brown? He said, "I own that ass. I own that ass." That shit was fucking funny, bro. And when he was talking shit to the Grizzlies, he said, "Let's have fun, guys. Let's have fun." And then when he was talking shit to what did he say to the Celtics in the finals, bro? He was talking shit to them in the finals too. I forgot what it was that he said. It was something about them going up 2-0 or having 2 wins, and he was saying like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna win again" or some shit like that. Something along those lines.
He do be talking.
He's on the low key.
I feel like Steph shit is more like as an opponent. If like, well, obviously nowadays it's different because he's the guy, he's the top dog. But like coming up, a guy that looked like Steph Curry, he wasn't dominating the league. So when you see him hitting threes and he's doing this shit and he's doing
the shimmy, he's doing shimmy in the garden pissed me off, bro.
Nigga, if I see a motherfucker that I feel like shouldn't even be on the court and he's hitting that shit to go up 15, I'm gonna feel like knocking somebody out. Like,
I wish the Knicks had that heart, bro.
Yeah, so it's the shit that Curry does that'll make a motherfucker like juiced up to want to fight. Not necessarily his talk. Jaylen Brown was a rookie, but I feel like if he did that shit to Jaylen Brown right now, Jaylen Brown might slap the shit out of that nigga.
On one right now.
Because that was rookie Jaylen Brown. You do that shit to him now, I'm like, motherfucker, I'd be in the fucking ocean, nigga.
Nah, Jaylen Brown. Just real quick before we move on to the next topic, Jaylen Brown is on some shit right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he's making me like him more. I know he's fucking with my boy Giannis, who's one of my favorite players as well. But Jaylen Brown's making his way. He was already one of my favorite players. He's going up that ranking, bro. I fuck with him so heavy. He's just on that I don't give a fuck mentality this year. Extra too.
I'll never forget when Melo punched Jared Jeffries.
Yo, there was a clip. There was a clip on his show. I didn't get to watch it. It was on my recommended. It was him and Fat Joe that was about to talk about it. And when you heard
that shit was loud as fuck.
When he hit him, that shit was loud as fuck. And he just backed up like that. He kept backing up like that.
Oh my! And they had to pull Jared Jeffries' jersey, bro.
Yeah. JR.
All you heard was pop.
JR was a catalyst of that shit starting. That shit was ridiculous, bro.
That shit was crazy.
Absolutely ridiculous. Justin, let's talk a little bit about Dyson Daniels, and then from there we'll parlay into the Hawks as well. This is the in-season tournament. I'm assuming you did see the quote that he said, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
That shit made me laugh.
Yeah.
He basically said that New Orleans is cursed with all these injuries that they got, and that he was getting injured over there too. I believe it, bro. Another team that's cursed. I don't want to go too deep into it because it's not that much to talk about. But I'm stupid. I almost said Hornets. The Magic, bro. They just lost Franz to the same injury that Paolo got, and the last guy to get that same exact injury too before them too, Cole Anthony. So it's like, bro, are they doing too many ab workouts in the locker room? Not in the locker room, in the training facility. What's going on? So they both got a right oblique strain. And I thought, bro, maybe some teams just cursed or their trainers is not doing their job, bro, because I don't know what's going on in New Orleans. Dyson Daniels left. He's chilling. He's good. And he's talking about, like, damn, them niggas over there. There's something going on. And you know voodoo popular in New Orleans, too. So it might be some truth to it, Justin.
I don't know what's good down in New Orleans, bro, but the whole team got hurt to start the season. I mean, Dyson Daniels, I don't recall him. Did he deal with injuries last year when he was there?
I'm not mistaken. That's what he was talking about.
He probably did.
Everybody did.
Everybody
that's
Jose Alvarado's missing games, bro. That's how you know it's crazy. Because that motherfucker. Last year, Dyson Daniels played 61 games last year.
21 games missing.
Year before that, 59.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
And he's chilling right now so far, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. But yeah, there is some dark shit going on in New Orleans. I don't know what it is. Like, DeJounte got hurt. CJ got hurt. Zion, motherfuckers always hurt. But I don't know. Alvarado, something's in the water over there. Daniel Tice got hurt too, right?
Everybody's Misi's getting all
started.
These minutes.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Couldn't tell you what it is. I don't know, but now that Dyson Daniels is out of there, he looks like a fucking monster, bro.
And an Iron Man.
And Iron Man, he looks like a monster, bro. Yeah, and I remember him coming out of the draft, and like he was supposed to be kind of like their point guard, like their answer at point guard, and it didn't really work out that way. And now he's just like a fucking pest. Like him playing next to Trae Young is probably the best thing that's happened. And I remember, I was watching back at the draft clips that we had, saying that like Reese Shea with this lineup, like if you got rid of one of Trae Young or DeJounte, which they went with DeJounte, that the pick wouldn't be bad, and then so far it's working out. Like having these wings around Trae Young, like Dyson Daniels, we looked at him as a point guard coming out, but this motherfucker's a 6'7" like combo. Like, I mean, he's still got work to do, like offensively, but defensively, he's a fucking menace. And it's insane. And we kind of saw glimpses of that the second half of the season last year, but now we see it on full effect. He's leading the league in steals. He averages like 3 a game. But
it's all defensive, bro.
All defensive, bro. He looks like a fucking demon.
Yeah, man, and it's contributing to winning. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it is contributing to winning. They obviously, the Hawks just beat the Knicks, in embarrassing fashion too. By the way, I'll say that much. Knicks couldn't grab a rebound for their lives, a defensive rebound for their lives. I really saw this team let up. Justin, that one possession late in the fourth. Was it 5 or 4 second chances? Just in one possession. I think it was 5. They got 5 offensive boards in one possession.
Shit felt like 8.
Jalen Johnson obviously cooked with all the boards that he had. Trae Young shot like shit, but still had his playmaking chops going. Hunter was doing his thing. It just
Hunter and Johnson were fucking the Knicks, bro.
Yeah, they were just frying us completely.
Hunter off the bench too.
It was, pardon me, it was very frustrating, bro. That's all I could say.
That's another bad take that came back to bite me in the ass. I said when they got drafted that Cam Reddish would be the wing that Atlanta sticks with.
That shit did not work.
That shit did not work.
I don't blame you neither, because I would have thought the same thing. I mean, I didn't say nothing specifically about Cam Reddish, but I would have thought the same fucking thing, bro, to be honest.
Nah, because they drafted both of them in the same draft. And I'm like, they're going to have to choose one eventually. And I thought it was going to be Cam Reddish.
I'm just so fried at this point. I know this just feeds into people saying, oh, then that makes it a rivalry. Because to be honest with you, if I had to order Knicks rivalries, I would go Celtics, most Heat, I would say Celtics, Heat, Pacers, and then Sixers. That's 4 teams you're more worried about than the Hawks right now. And the Hawks, they don't really have any true rivalry, so I feel like that's why they cling on to us. So it does get a little bit frustrating when we go into their crib and we beat them. There's no antics. There's no report on it on social media. It's not getting blown up.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Brunson isn't fucking rubbing his shoe over the Hawks logo.
They haven't had a rival in a while.
I don't think the Hawks ever had a rival since Larry Bird and the Celtics.
That's what I was going to say.
Because they had
since the 80s.
They have no rivalry with Bron. You feel me? They have no rivalry in the 2000s.
They had good games against the Pierce Garnett Celtics, but I wouldn't call that a rivalry.
That wasn't a rivalry.
But they did have good matchups with them, but that wasn't no fucking
They didn't have no rivalry with D Wade and the Heat, Dwight's Magic. They had no rivalry with
It's
them.
really the 80s Celtics. That's it.
Historically too, because unless you want to say, oh, Bob Pettit and so had a rivalry, it's like, bro, that was the 60s and late 50s.
Yeah.
So I understand. I can see why they're desperate to cling on to something. But it does kind of get annoying, like I said, when it's like, we win, no one says a thing. It's like, we win Atlanta, no one says a thing. We win in New York, no one says a thing. No one's doing anything egregious. But this man is, to be honest with you, I feel like his whole personality is just the Knicks at this point in time. Whatever podcast he goes on, what's your relationship with the Knicks fans? How you feel about the Knicks fans? Blah, 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 blah. And then they'll comment on it.
I was going to tell you to do it in his voice.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a love-hate relationship. I respect them, but they don't like me, and it's cool. It's part of the game. Like, all right, cool, buddy. Nice story. But like I said, he'll do all these interviews and shit like that, post-game, podcast, whatever. They always ask him about the Knicks, right? Whatever. But it's like when we play them, when we beat them, it's not even like it don't even feel good whether they're good or bad. Whether the Hawks are good or a bad team, or even like a like thorn in our side in the playoff race. I don't really care. And we're not asking Jalen Brunson how you feel about the rivalry with the Hawks. We don't ask Josh Hart, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett when he was here, how you feel about your rivalry with the Hawks. Because we don't give a shit. Brunson was talking shit to Embiid because we don't fucking like Embiid. DiVincenzo last year was talking mad shit to Halliburton and the Pacers because we don't like the Pacers. I care less about what the Hawks end up doing. And me saying that, okay, it is a bit annoying that this man's whole personality is the Knicks. That doesn't mean that if people want to view it as, oh, you just proving the point that it's a rivalry, run with the narrative. But to be honest with you, how can I give a flying fuck? You know? And I know I've said it too, like before, like an offhand comment, like, oh, I would like to see the Knicks play the Hawks just to beat them and see what the fuck people saying. They'll probably shut the fuck up. But I'm more worried about getting revenge on the Pacers. I'm more worried about taking down the Celtics. I'm more worried about taking down Embiid again. I want to embarrass the Heat and force Jimmy Butler to leave if he lasts that long, all the way into April. That's the teams I'm worried about beating. I would like to embarrass the Cavs one more time, more than I would care to get the revenge on the Hawks.
Yeah.
That's 5 teams.
Yeah.
That's 5 teams I'm more worried about beating. At this point, and I'll be clowning the Nets. We have a bigger rivalry with the Nets than we do the Hawks.
That is true.
I will find it more embarrassing to lose to the Nets right now than the Hawks that they were, even last year when they weren't good. I would rather lose to the Hawks than the Nets, bro.
I feel like there was no fucking rivalry, bro. I feel like Trae Young kind of reignited the fire. Because you remember, nobody talked about Knicks and Hawks until we played them earlier this year and we lost to them. And then Trae Young was like...
Because we were winning against them. No one gave a fuck.
Yeah.
We didn't care.
Yeah.
We didn't come here to talk about it and make it a topic.
And I'll never forget, like, after that playoff series, I remember Eric used to be like, anytime they played each other, Eric used to be like, oh, bet Trae Young's over. And there were games where he didn't hit the over. And we would
games.
And we would beat them. And it was crickets. But then when we played them earlier this year and they beat us, Trae Young was like, oh, yeah, get their ass out of here. Like, talking about the Knicks fans.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of, like, threw a little bit of, like, gasoline on the fire. And then this game was just magnified even more because it's the NBA Cup, or was it quarterfinals in Madison Square Garden. And then him doing the roll the dice shit. It's all amplified. The stakes of this game. So, yeah. This game, they win. He could have his moment, sure. Like, but it's like, historically speaking, it's not, I don't view it as a rivalry at all. It just happens to be like, he has his moments against us, like, kind of like the most important times.
But the thing is, he still has a negative record against us.
Nah,
Even if you include the playoffs and this in-season tournament game, he's still negative against us.
That is true.
I think he's 11-16 against us, including the playoffs.
Oh, including the playoffs?
Yeah. Without it, he's 6-16, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he's 7-14 or 7-15.
Something like that, bro.
Yeah.
He's negative.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck, though. 7 out of 15 in the regular season, bro. That means you're on pace for roughly a 33% winning season. Yeah. Which is like what? That's obviously way under 500. That's like a 20-something win season.
I let him have his moment. Roll the dice. Post on Instagram. Man at the Garden. The Kendrick song in the background. It's cool. I'm not really tripping. Knicks, am I disappointed? Yeah, but I'm not over here like fuck Trae Young. Like,
it's just so boring. People don't even do that shit no more.
I'm not even. I mean, some people do. Randomly.
I don't know. Fuck Embiid really took over that shit. Fuck Embiid. You see, that shit had me lit. And people could say this is like, if people want to claim that is me walking back on my words, I'm just telling the truth. I wasn't saying no fuck Trae Young in 2021. I just wanted the Knicks to win.
I didn't even hate Trae Young because, like, watching all those games, I'm like, he legitimately busted our ass.
I just think his hair is ugly, bro. I think his hair is ugly and his voice is annoying. That's it.
Nah, because I'm like, I remember watching those games. I'm like, yo, he legitimately, like, picked us apart and, like, torched us. Like, why am I gonna hate? But like when he came back this year and it was like, yeah, fuck these Knicks. Well, he didn't say that, but like, get their ass out of here. That's when I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you trying to start shit, and that's what's getting me tight. So that's why I was in the chat like, yo, fuck Trey. Like I said that shit this year. But yeah, bro, this ain't no fucking rivalry, bro. Would I love to play them in the playoffs? Sure. But this ain't no fucking rivalry to me, man.
For him to dribble it out, I don't really care. But I think it's so whack and weak that nobody came to press him. And I'm not even talking about like, oh, run up on him and give him whiplash, push him from the back. I'm saying like that's not sus, bro. That's what Jokic did to
No,
the
I'm not
Warriors,
laughing at no such shit, but that's just funny.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, I would have went and guarded up on him, or I would have loved for Josh Hart to go press him or something, so he would stop doing that.
Kick that fucking ball, nigga.
Yes, it's like, come on, bro. And I bet you again, because I think the next game's in the Garden, January 20 something, right? I think it's on MLK Day. I could be wrong, but they're gonna play again at the Garden, and when the Knicks win, because obviously the Knicks are gonna win the next game. When the Knicks win, I guarantee it's not gonna be no Brunson saying, "Yeah, Atlanta Hawks fans, get the fuck out." Where they're just gonna be like, "Oh, it was a good game. It was a hard earned victory. Whatever. Move on." Same with like a OG or a Cat. They're just gonna take it and move on. Do I want them to do that? I don't know, because I feel like if they do try to do the petty, childish shit that Trae Young does, they're just lowering themselves to his antics. And I feel
I wouldn't be mad at it.
But this is my thing. This is the dichotomy. It's either you do that, you bring yourself lower to them, you lower yourselves to where they're at, or you take the higher ground. But then it's like no one's gonna memorize this shit. And if you do go low like he does below the belt, then it's also you're admitting that it's a rivalry when it's not.
Yeah.
Which also sucks. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point in time, which is kind of whack.
I would just take the high road if I was them, because like at the end of the day, they're 2-1 on the. I mean, they're 2-0 on the season versus us. So like
So far,
yeah,
there's
I wouldn't really
3 games left, right? Because the in-season tournament don't count technically.
Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't pop my shit unless you get the upper hand on the regular season record, or if you was to face them in the playoffs and beat them in the closeout game, I would talk my shit. But part of me just would wonder what would happen if Trae Young was to do that, and like John Starks was on the other side, Charles Oakley was on the other side, Anthony Mason was on the other side, Latrell Sprewell was on the other side.
Anthony Mason would choke him,
like,
bro.
I really want to know what the fuck would I... First of all, John Starks would have headbutted that nigga and gave Trae Young a fucking concussion. Anthony Mason would have put him in a fucking headlock. Charles Oakley probably would have slapped the shit out of him.
I think he would have slapped him into the broadcast table.
Yeah. And then Latrell Sprewell probably would have choked him
to death.
Yeah. So he wasn't doing that shit, bro.
It's just so weak, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's
and then
so
Patrick
weak.
Ewing just threw him on his ass.
And the thing is too, like, even in the predictions that we about to make, it's not like I'm rooting for the Bucks because oh my god, I want Trae Young to lose so badly. I care less who wins in that game and then the finals too.
I'd rather the Hawks beat the Bucks, to be honest.
And then what? Lose the final? Is that what you're saying? You're just saying you just want them to win?
No, because I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, the loss hurts, but that doesn't take away. To me, this Hawks team, they're not garbage, and it was fun to watch.
They're okay, bro. They're okay. I think they're losing to a good. I don't know if I want to include the Magic because they having issues, but they will lose to like a good 5 teams above
Magic,
them.
They're losing.
They're losing to a good 5-6 teams in the East, bro.
Oh no, I'm not stamping them as like, oh yeah, here they come. They're gonna be an ECF second round team.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're a mid-team.
I think for what they were supposed to be, to how they're playing now, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing.
What's worse, Halliburton and Trae Young shaking hands, or Hitler and Stalin?
Obviously, the second one.
You saying they're worse?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they about even. I'm gonna go to Twitter.
I feel like a Hawks Pacers series would be kind of fire.
I don't know who I would root for. I'd probably shoot myself. I might lean the Pacers.
I think I'd root for the Hawks.
I would lean the Pacers just so that we could beat the Pacers. Next.
I think I'd root for the Hawks. Unless Unless Benedict Mathurin just averages like 35, then I'll be like, holy shit, yeah, I'm locked in.
I know what AI drawing I'm gonna make after this show. Shaking hands. I can't believe I didn't think about that. I know what I'm doing, bro. I know exactly what I'm doing.
But yeah.
Going to the in-season tournament predictions, though, Justin. Obviously, we got the Bucks and the Hawks facing off in the East to see who's gonna represent the East. Who do you have winning that game? Because right now, I think I just would. I got the Bucks.
Yeah, Giannis is on a tear, bro. Dame's been playing a lot better. Fucking Torian Prince has been doing his thing. Gary Trent's been playing a lot better.
Laker effect.
Fuck, man. I think I'm gonna say fuck it and go with the Hawks.
I'm gonna take the Bucks, bro. I think the Bucks are gonna smash them. I would take Bucks negative 9.5.
Taking that leap of faith, I'm gonna go with the Hawks.
I think the Bucks will damn near blow them out.
OKC and Houston.
That's gonna be fucking fire, and they're the 1 and 2 seed also.
Yeah,
but even though they got no Chet with how iHeart is playing,
I'm going with OKC.
Yeah, give me OKC, bro.
The thing with Houston, I feel like Houston is missing that closer at the end of the game. Like,
yeah. They were going to Şengün a lot in the end, and I love Şengün. You can't really go there.
Yeah, as good as Şengün is, I feel like, well, let me say this. They need a perimeter closer. Because, yeah, Şengün can very well, like, post a nigga up, like, late game. If
I still don't like that, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Your closer, I think we had this discussion. I don't know if we had this discussion on the show or if I had this discussion with somebody else, but your closer, even if your best player is an interior player, your closer has to be a perimeter guy.
Yeah.
Shaq was by far tiers, not just one tier, tiers above Kobe. Kobe still has to be the one to close the game because someone has to get Shaq the ball. So automatically it gets tougher for him to close the game. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like your perimeter guy has to be the one closing. Even if on a lower scale, Giannis and Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton's closing a lot of them games, not because he's better than Giannis. Not because he's like more clutch than Giannis. But it's just the fact that it's going to be tougher for Giannis to take that last shot compared to Chris Middleton for him to get that shit off.
Yeah, and it's like Chris Middleton or Kobe, for example, is like they could get Shaq the ball, but they could also get you that bucket. And
exactly.
And the most important part is that these guys could get you a bucket from all three levels.
Anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So that's my concern for the Rockets because, like, Jalen Green, as good as he is, it's a lot of inconsistencies.
Correct.
Like, I don't know if you saw the comments on our latest TikTok, but there was two people going at it in the comments, which is crazy. Usually they attack us and we going back and forth, but it was two other people. But it was about RJ and Jalen Green. Like, and one of the guys, it was debating RJ and Jalen Green. But the guy that was like defending RJ was saying, he's like, yo, you talking about RJ being consistent? He's like, Jalen Green is the king of inconsistency. Because like Jalen Green will have 37 one game, then next game he'll have like 10. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a fact. I'm like, so
who's better, Justin?
You know I'm gonna go with Broadway Barry.
even if he wasn't a Knick, and even if in the fact of view he went to Kentucky instead of Duke, if that was an alternate universe, I was still taking RJ, bro. Take away RJ's pass, he's still fucking better than Jalen Green right now,
bro. But yeah, bro. As good as Jalen Green is, very inconsistent, and there's a lot of times where he tends to settle for the three ball. So you have to be able to get it from all three levels. And we see he's athletic as shit, but I don't really have the trust in him right now for him to do that. Fred VanVleet has kind of been whatever. And I don't trust him either. He's a 6 foot guard. I'm not trusting him to fucking pull it like CP3 on a mid range. Like, I don't trust him to do that. Jabari Smith is literally only a jump shooter. He cannot create separation for himself.
Yes.
Amen Thompson can't shoot the three ball. Like, you're like they don't. Reed Shepard is a fucking rookie. Dylan Brooks, like, their only option right now is really Şengün. And like, so I feel like until that they figure that shit out, it's gonna be tough. Like, this Mavericks game, I know PJ Washington didn't play, and neither did Najee Marshall, but Shea was as advertised. Like, he was the fucking guy. He gave you 39 points. fucked you for mid range, bro. Like he literally did what he had to do. Like he was literally like the prototype of like this is what it looks. Yeah, so we see Shea as like the go-to number one guy down the stretch, and I think the Rockets are lacking in a perimeter version of that because Şengün obviously he proved in that Warriors game to be that he's the real deal and he's their guy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. That's why I'm gonna take the Thunder as well. Shea is gonna be your closer. Like you said, the Rockets is kind of lacking that right now. I can more, and another thing too as well. I think iHeart can contain Şengün as well. That's the main thing. Şengün's the best player on the team by far, and even if we're taking out the clutch factor and the defense on Şengün, the perimeter defense as well as hell. Jalen Green already shooting like shit.
It's gonna be a fun
Throw
game
Caruso on him. You feel me?
Yeah.
J-Dub is gonna step up and do his thing offensively and defensively. Lou Dort's gonna have niggas in the torture chamber. SGA both sides of the ball. SGA might not even have to do that much work on defense, to be honest with you. And he could just fry them on offense. So by far, I'm not saying it's gonna be no blowout. There's gonna be an exciting game again. 1-2 series right there. 1-2 seed right there. But I am gonna take the Thunder comfortably. That's who I'm gonna take. So Justin, since the final is gonna happen, before we record the next episode, who is just your pick to win? Regardless, is it the Thunder? Is it the Bucks? Do you want to flip one of your picks just in case? Who do you think is gonna win the whole thing?
The Thunder.
I'm gonna stand packed and say the Bucks. To be honest with you,
Bucks.
I think Giannis is gonna step up, be able to backpack these guys. Not like the other guys aren't doing their role as well. Like you said, Torian Prince is shooting phenomenally from three. That's why I made that side comment after you said that and said the Laker effect because the lights was too bright for him in LA. I guess with all them celebrities.
Yeah, if Colin was here, he'd be like, "Yo, anytime somebody plays with LeBron, they can't shoot, but as soon as they leave,
he is
they
cooking right now, bro.
Up.
It is disgusting.
Shit is crazy, bro.
But he's doing his thing right now. Dame is getting his act together. I think they're gonna be able to pull it out. It is gonna be a close game though. So I'm gonna take the Bucks. I guess you taking the Thunder in this case. And then neither of them might even make the finals. It's gonna be crazy. If neither of them makes that finals, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed.
Yo, man, a Rockets Hawks final.
I'm rooting for the Rockets all the way. By far.
Yeah.
I would beg the Rockets to win that game.
Trae Young would be in fucking prison.
Well,
either way, like
I think the Rockets would be in the team to benefit the most from winning the shit right now out of these four teams. Yeah. For the sole fact that it would be like a playoff environment for them, which is something that nobody there is used to except Brooks and Fred VanVleet. Only two guys who's used to that shit. This would be some good kind of practice, even though this is a serious game for them. So I would, low-key, even though I got the Thunder winning that game, I would like to see the Rockets benefit the most from this, though. Shout out to Houston, bro. Justin, as we saw as well coming out of the news, Jimmy Butler speculation of him getting traded. Shams tweeted that according to Jimmy's agent, they was going to try to get a trade going. Jimmy's agent fired back, kind of disrespecting his journalistic integrity. And Shams stood on business. I'm going to say this.
He did.
He went on TV with Stephen A. He said, nah, my sources are vetted. I only tweet shit out that I'm 1,000% sure about. And that's that. You feel me? So obviously Jimmy's going to be leaked to the Warriors, getting leaked to the Lakers. You have him getting leaked to the Suns as well. He just dyed his hair orange, if that's any clue to anything at all. Still being linked to the Nets for whatever reason. If a Jimmy Butler trade was to happen by the deadline, where would you say that he's gonna go? Number one, number two, what team would you think would be the best fit for him?
I've just seen the shit where it's like Jimmy dyed his hair the colors of each team he rumored to be interested in. Like it's dead ass serious. He got the Suns,
orange,
Mavericks, blue, Rockets, Warriors. Should I just go based on these?
I didn't even know the Mavs was interested. Everyone else I heard, but I'm surprised they didn't put. Well, I guess because he didn't dye his hair yellow or purple. But the Lakers was interested as well. The main three is the Suns, Lakers, and Warriors. And then I heard Rockets talk, but at the same time Rockets were saying like they want to stand pat. The Mavs, that's a shock to me. I didn't hear any Mavs discussion so far.
So you're asking me
what's most likely, part one, part two, forget the realisticness, what team would benefit the most?
What's most likely? I mean, honestly, I feel like what's most likely is him not getting traded, low key.
Wow. Okay.
Because if I'm all of these teams, I'm like, no disrespect. Like, first of all, can the Suns even do this shit?
No.
Yeah, like
I don't know what they would move.
Like,
They
what
gotta
the
move.
fuck?
They gotta move heaven and earth.
yeah, they can't. Yeah, for real. But like, no disrespect to Jimmy Butler. But like, if I'm all these teams, I'm like, why the fuck would I trade pieces from my team to add a 35-year-old Jimmy Butler who not only is he old as fuck, you have to pay him in the summertime.
Correct.
So it's like, why the fuck would I do that? If I'm Houston, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not giving up my young talent to get Jimmy Butler. If it was for fucking Giannis, oh, yeah, you have my attention. But for a 35-year-old Jimmy, fuck out of here. Same thing with the Mavericks. I really like this year's Mavericks team, bro. I like it more than last year's team because this Mavericks team this year is way deeper. You traded Spencer Dinwiddie to get Kyrie, and now you got that motherfucker back.
Yo, he's always gonna be a Maverick. Bro.
Yeah, and he be hooping, bro.
This is the third time he's a Maverick.
I think so. And he's fucking hooping. PJ Washington, great, bro. We probably hit this shit out the park. The Q Grimes and Najee Marshall signing, great. I'm starting to finally see it now that people are like, oh, yo, Q Grimes should be starting over Klay Thompson.
You're missing a key signing
From Dallas?
Yeah.
Klay.
You gave praise to everybody else.
Yeah, I forgot about this motherfucker. But
there's nothing to praise. That's the worst part, bro. There's nothing to praise.
Yeah, they got Klay too. But yeah, that I just like that this Mavericks team has a lot more, that Luka doesn't have to go out his way every night and average 35 a game to make this team like relevant. But yeah, bro. And what was the other team?
Lakers. So I said Lakers, Warriors, Suns, Mavs, and
you said Nets, right?
I had Nets.
Oh yeah, Warriors. Warriors.
They're my most likely because they keep saying they're gonna swing a trade so that Steph can have one more star teammate for one more year. They could trade Cum Bucket for him. They don't even want to pay Cum Bucket, so fucking get rid of him and get Jimmy Butler. And if the Jimmy Butler shit doesn't work out, wash your hands.
My thing is though, like, Kuminga, don't the contracts have to match? Like, it would have to. They would
have to add another piece.
It would have to be more than Kuminga. I think Wiggins would have to be in that deal too.
That's perfectly fine. I would wash my hands of both.
That's fine, but like Wiggins has been playing decent for them. If they want to do that, sure. That'll probably go into the most likely.
But the thing is this, like you said, Wiggins playing decent. Comebuck is doing his thing too, but I would wash my hands of both. I don't want to pay neither of those guys.
Oh no!
And if Jimmy doesn't work out, I don't gotta pay him. I can move that money somewhere else. If Jimmy works out and we got a conference finals appearance, I'll pay him. So it's a win-win outlook for me. More though, you're winning more than you would with those two guys. Keeping them. To be completely honest with you.
I don't think they should keep Kuminga at all. I think they're literally trying to get Kuminga out of there. They put him in the starting lineup, trying to prop up his value. I think that's all it is.
Auditions.
I wasn't really. I think the only hesitation was with Wiggins because like he finally is back to his regular self, and now they're gonna be like, yeah, peace out, motherfucker. But
for Jimmy Butler, I would do it even at this age. I would take the risk, and I think Jimmy Butler. I know that you and me clown playoff Jimmy, but I would definitely take a gamble and see if playoff Jimmy is a true thing rather than bank on Wiggins to be that second best player for us in a playoff.
I don't see the Lakers at all happening.
Me either. And they shouldn't anyways.
And I don't see the Nets.
They just always.
I feel like the Nets have better. Like, and this isn't even to disrespect Jimmy Butler, but I feel like they can do better. Like, if they, because I feel like getting Jimmy Butler for the Nets, that's not really helping you. You're trying to be bad, bro. Yeah. Teams are fiending for Cam Johnson. Teams are low-key fiending for Dorian Finney-Smith.
I was about to say Dorian, too.
And teams are fiending for Dennis Schroeder. To send him to the Heat to get Jimmy Butler back is like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you're going to be mid, but you want to be bad. And I know Nets fans are kind of losing patience because it's like, yo, we're not even bad yet. Come on now. Come on. I think to go into the next question, the Warriors is probably most likely, because they're at the point now where it's like, we gotta continue this the Steph era, and you could say the same thing about Bron, but like I feel like at this point it's not likely, and two, they don't really have the shit to trade you. It's the same trade package, bro. D'Lo, Rui, first, like, for Jimmy, but I'm like, what is that realistically gonna do?
Bro, because you mentioned LeBron, by the way, again, I'm gonna just give my answer. Most realistic Warriors, who would benefit the most off of this?
Yeah, so Jimmy Butler. Yeah, I think the Warriors is the most likely.
Most likely, most effective, by far.
Yeah.
If any team's gonna benefit the most, it's gonna be the Warriors. Speaking of the Warriors too, because we are talking about they want to swing one last trade to try to get Curry that star, as I said before. I'm not gonna believe it. Obviously, it's still bullshit to me. But they reopened the talks about LeBron. They're trying to do it.
I don't believe it.
They really want to get Bron and Steph together, even just for 1 year, but I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it at all. I don't even want to entertain that topic right now.
Yeah,
if it happens, we'll come here and we'll talk about it. We'll spend 50 minutes just talking about that subject, to be honest with you. Just us two. And if we even have one guest, it'll probably take us an hour and a half just talking about the trade. But besides that, I'm not going to entertain it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward for Jimmy Butler to get traded because I just want something to happen in the league, bro, in terms of trades.
Yeah.
I would love to see something. It's about to be that time. It's December 13th right now. About to be the 15th. I doubt we still see that many trades anyways, but I'm ready for the trade deadline. Hopefully Jimmy gets a move. Hopefully those Nets guys get a move. And honestly, I think that's really the only guys. Hopefully we get to see Cum Bucket move somewhere. That's really all the premier moves that's available in the league right now. That's reported at least. By January, shit could change. But right now, it's just looking like those group of guys are going to be the ones that are likely to move.
Yeah.
So since we are kind of getting to that point, Justin, where we're kind of getting to one of the most important times this season, we're about to get to the middle of the season. MVP talks are finally starting to mean something right now. I think we have a big enough sample size to talk about who could possibly win MVP, who's really in that race. We both have a top 5 MVP ladder. I would definitely like to go from 5 to 1 up, and then obviously see who we each think is going to be the MVP of the league. So I'll let you start off first with your number 5.
You know, it's crazy. My 5 is fucking blank.
Seriously?
Yeah, I have 4. I have 4 guys. The 5th, I'm like, I don't even know what to put here.
Why do you not have a 5th?
Because I was just like, it might be just blasphemous who I might put at 5.
Paul George, not imagine.
Nah, not Paul George. Because I'm like, I wanted to show Donovan Mitchell love, but I'm like,
I put him by 5. He's my number 5.
Maybe I'm overthinking it because I'm like, I want to put him 5, but I'm like, yo, they're really doing it as a collective. So I'm like, do I put him 5? And then I'm like, Big Bodega, but that sounds kind of blasphemous.
Does it?
I mean, I'm gonna put Big Bodega at 5, bro. Like, honestly, I feel like if Giannis and fucking Jokic didn't exist in this fucking world right now, Big Bodega would probably be the fucking MVP right now.
Whoa.
The other guy is in my list.
There's one other guy on my list that would still win.
Yeah,
if Big Bodega was not there, bro.
But I just want to give her. When's the last time the Knicks had an MVP? So
Willis Reed.
Yeah, fucking long time.
That's my point.
Willis Reed a long fucking time. So it's like, now that it's happening, I'm like, shit.
Do we have the longest MVP drought? No, the Hawks do.
When was the last time a Sacramento King won MVP?
Never, but I'm not counting the nevers.
Oh, the never. Okay.
Like, I'm not counting the Grizzlies because they're never. I'm not counting the Hornets, Pelicans. Who else has never won MVP? I think that's basically it.
I couldn't tell you who never. Like, what
even
franchise
the Wizards
never got
have
one.
won an MVP.
Wes Unseld.
Toronto has never had an MVP neither. Toronto has not had an MVP. The Jazz had Karl Malone. The Kings. Wait. Oscar Robertson won MVP with them. But they weren't even the Kings. They were the Royals. The Royals,
yes. Kansas City, right?
No,
oh no, I'm
bugging.
Team. Yes.
But they were the Kansas City. Were they the Kings? I don't think so.
Were they the? Nah, that's the. I'm thinking of the WNBA team. I was about to say the Monarchs. That's
It was Kansas City something else, but it wasn't. I don't believe it was the Kings. But yeah, he's the last one. They might have a slightly longer drought than us then,
okay.
because Willis Reed was the 69, 70 or 70, 71.
I think it was 69, 70.
Yeah, so 69, 70, we'll just assume. And then
Yes, because 70, I think 71 was Kareem.
his first one.
I think so. Either 71 or 72.
And Oscar Robertson obviously came before. Wow, yeah, I'm just looking at the map. That's always the best. I'm so glad we have this map because I won't forget people. Clippers have a drought. They don't have a drought. They don't have anybody. So I'll definitely say it's us, the Hawks, and the Kings all in the same category in terms of
Yeah,
MVP.
but like as soon as we have a guy where it's like, oh shit.
Even the Wizards have a more recent MVP. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And they haven't won 50
So,
games in 40 years.
I'm gonna prop it up, bro. 25 and 13 is fucking insane, bro. And with the efficiency too.
Yep.
So I'm gonna hype that up. But I'm gonna put Big Bodega at my 5.
I got Donovan Mitchell, as you said, collective, so on and so forth. The last 2 games have not been too hot for him. I can admit that. But overall, he is sacrificing for the team to play better. They still do have the best record in the league right now. They went on a massive win streak. And part of it was because of him. He's been playing pretty damn good. I understand the numbers aren't there. It's only 24 points per game. I think 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But he's still doing his thing and he's leading his team. At the end of the day, whether Mobley has a great game, Garland, Jarrett Allen, you can't doubt who the number 1 guy is on that team.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to have Donovan Mitchell as my number 5.
Yeah.
My number 4, we could do in a snake formation. This is where I got Karl Anthony Towns. As you said, 25 and 13, killing the boards, killing people on the boards, still scoring efficiently. I feel like he's really found, his role within the team within the past couple of weeks. Maybe you can even say the past month, he's really found his role. And he's excelling right now. Like you said, I would love to see another Knick win the MVP. It's not going to happen this year because of 2 fucking guys that are just stuck there and will forever be stuck there for like the next 5 years. But I do think that, like you said, in a universe where they don't exist, he would have a strong second place case right now.
Yeah.
A very strong second place case. There's only one guy that could really confidently say, like, yo, this motherfucker is really ahead of him.
Yeah.
And besides him, it's nobody else.
Yeah. My number 4, I got Jason Tatum here. Shot got better. He's doing his thing this year. Celtics look just as dangerous. 20 and 5. Just wanted to give the shout out right there. Do I think he's gonna win? Hell no. But just wanted to give the shout out.
Who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
So is mine. This is kind of where it gets boring.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, SGA still averaging 30, 31 points.
Yeah.
Still getting his playmaking, still getting his boards, still playing great defense. Shooting 52% from the field, if I'm not mistaken. Always been a good free throw shooter. His 3-ball could be a little bit better. It leaves me wanting for more. But he's still doing his thing. And the Thunder are still the best team in the West, which I thought was going to be a big toss-up of who's going to be on top. It's still very close. Even between like them and the 6th seed is still very close. But right now, they do look by far to be the strongest team in the West right now in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
My number 2, which might shock you, Justin, with all the glaze that we've done the past couple of weeks, past nearly 2 months. This is where I got Jokic. I got Jokic finishing second instead of first because what Jokic had over Giannis was, which spoils my first place, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be one of the 2 guys. Jokic was contributing to a lot of winning. The Nuggets are on a little bit of a spill right now. The Bucks, the case for Giannis not to win MVP was he's putting up numbers, but the team's playing like shit. They're losing. He's not equating to winning. They're below 500. The Bucks right now have a better record than the Nuggets. And this is with Giannis averaging 33 points on 60+% shooting from the field. And it's not because he's running dunk man. It's because he's taking mid-range shots right now. More than ever before in his career. And he's still shooting 60+%. I would love to take a look of what that would look like if you just, what his field goal percentage would look like if you wiped out the mid-rangers. I would love to see what it would look like. I mean, he's making them too, by the way. It's not like he's shooting from shit from the midi. He's shooting pretty damn good. But for him to be this run and dunk guy, but he's really adding a midi and he's still shooting 60+%, I think he's just phenomenal, bro. Respect to Jokic. Efficient as fuck. I don't think there's any wrong choice to be had here. But I like Giannis at this current point in time, December 13th, 2024. I like Giannis a little bit more as my 24-25 MVP than Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, man. Both of these guys going crazy as usual. My number 2 is Giannis Antetokounmpo, but it's really interchangeable. I literally have it in my notes with the interchangeable emoji. But like just because what you said, like the Bucks have been on a tear, coming back into the standings, and it's like these teams are so close to each other. Like the Nuggets and the Bucks. Like the Bucks are 13-11, Nuggets are 12-10. So it's literally right there. You're just picking your poison. Giannis has been on a mission this year, leading the league in scoring, and guess who's number 2? Jokic. Like it's right there. You could really go with either guy. I'm just going with Jokic just because this shit is just fucking insane, bro. Cause it's hard to ignore. Like the 32, 13 and a half, damn near 14 rebounds. He's leading the league, 10 assists, and he's shooting fucking 50% from 3 on 4 attempts. Like that's fucking insane. And based on what we saw last year in the playoffs, like they was forcing him to shoot a lot of threes, and he was kind of underwhelming. And now he came back this year. He's knocking that shit down. Like you cannot leave him open. So it's like every asset on the court, he's gonna make you pay. And he's the type of guy at the high post. He has control of the entire game. He could literally fuck you from anywhere, like in the post, from the mid range, from the 3 ball, high post. You want to double me? Sure. Here, Christian Brown. Like that's it. Like it's like literally any part of the court, he will make you pay, and it's insane. 56% from the field, 50% from 3. This motherfucker is like 80% from the free throw line. He's like an efficient god right now, and it is insane, fucking insane what he's doing. Like so I'm gonna go with Jokic. Like the shit that'll tear him down is if like they just slide completely because the little streak they're on. Like he literally had 56 against the Wizards, and they lost. And it's a damn travesty because whenever he's on the court, they'll be up by like 6, up by 8. They take him out. They're down by fucking 6. He comes back in. They get the lead back. He sits back down, and now they're down. And it's like, holy shit. I'm like, I mean, I've seen this movie before with LeBron, but now I'm watching it with Jokic, and it's like, holy shit, bro. And he's doing it. Like he's bringing them back. I mean, it's dog fights with all of these teams, but shit, bro. I mean, I think they could climb back hopefully because before the birth of his child, they were looking like one of the top dogs, and then he missed some games and they started to slide down. So hopefully they make up that ground. But I mean, Giannis or Jokic, you could really they're splitting hairs. But Jokic for me would be my number 1.
It's true. He could fuck you from anywhere, from behind, prone bone, missionary, cowgirl versus cowgirl. He said it best. He could fuck you from anywhere on the court, bro. Yeah. Crazy statement, too, by the way, because you said fuck you from anywhere. You didn't even say on the court.
Yeah.
You just said fuck you from anywhere. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
If we included guys like Franz, I don't know if I want to throw a bone to LaMelo. He played less games than Franz at this point. But fuck it. If we throw in Franz and LaMelo, would they place in your top 5?
No, I'm putting Donovan Mitchell before I put those guys.
What?
Gotta give love to Donovan Mitchell. First,
I would put Franz ahead of Donovan Mitchell. I'll put him over Big Bodega at this point. Obviously, Tatum didn't even make my top 5. I'll put him over Tatum. I'll put him over all them niggas, bro. Just with how crazy he was hooping.
Nah, he was hooping crazy.
But now he's down. AD obviously slid down. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. Next season, when we start the next season with the podcast, bro, if AD comes out the gate like crazy in the first 10 games, I'm not saying shit. Because we did it again. We say he's an MVP candidate. Where the fuck is he at right now? I'm starting to get tired of this shit. At least he's healthy.
Yeah, at least
that's a great thing. No knock on him for that, but it's like, damn, bro. We said MVP AD. He's in the convo with just Jokic and Giannis, and it's like he's not even in our top 5 no more. That's low-key ridiculous. But Justin, let's get into the MVP of the week real quick. I got 4 names for you or 5? I think I got 5 this time. Yeah, I got 5 names. Not too many games played by anybody because of the cup kind of fucking things over in terms of the schedule. No one really got to play 3 games in the last week since we recorded our last episode, and we're also recording a day early. So these are going to be the 5 guys, sorry. And I need you to tell me who's going to be MVP of the week. First one, just talked about him. I would love to ban him and Giannis from the list, but this is too crazy to ignore. Jokic with 56, 16, and 8. Then 48, 14, and 8 with 3 steals. Brody is 1-1 in that stretch. Sabonis, 19, 12, and 6. Then 32, 20, and 3.
God
He's 2-0.
damn.
Shout out to Kings. Keep climbing, bro. 3-game win streak. Beat the Nuggets. Make the Nuggets 12 and 11. And they'll be the 10th seed by that point in time. The Kings. Shout out to them. But they 2-0. Big Bodega Cat. 24, 15, and 6. 19, 15, 5, 3, and 3. Knicks, unfortunately, is 1-1 in that span. Cade Cunningham. 29, 10, and 15. Then 18, 8, and 8. They 1-1. And the last guy, Bronny James, 30 points.
In the G League? Just one game?
Who's your MVP of the week?
Nikola Jokic, bro. Those numbers are impossible to ignore.
I'm picking Bronny.
I can't believe you put Bronny.
I'm picking Bronny because he will never be here ever again. I promise you that.
He put him for a G League game.
He had 30. Bro, he had 30. An efficient 30.
Jimmy Fredette used to have 70.
Okay, we wasn't doing the pod.
Oh.
We wasn't even doing the pod. Show me someone in the G League that has 16. I'll put him in this bitch. I probably won't because this is Bronny.
Shit, we wasn't doing the pod, but I remember when Deuce McBride used to have like triple doubles in the fucking G League.
Come on, Justin, just pick Bronny.
I'm not picking Bronny.
Come on, bro. He's never going to be here ever again, bro.
I'm
Come
not
on.
picking that nigga, bro.
Please, bro, please. So how we settling this? Because I'm picking Bronny, you picking Jokic. Yeah, I wish Jokic didn't drop 50 and 48, bro.
That's impossible to ignore, bro.
I mean, Bronny had 30.
In the G League.
Yeah, but he's not even supposed to be there.
Tyler
according to
Kolek
some
almost had a
people.
triple-double in the G League.
It don't matter, bro.
He had 18, 9, and 8.
It don't matter. That's almost.
What
That's
did
almost.
Bronny had what, 30?
30.
1 and 1 and 1?
3 rebounds, 2 assists.
They won?
I believe so. So we'll put 1-0 also. So he's 1,000.
No. Check if they won, bro. Because Tyler Kolek won that game. Because I'll take 18, 9, and 8 with the win. Then 33 and 2 with a loss.
Did he even upload it yet?
I know that game was close as fuck too, because I was watching the highlights. They won?
No.
The fuck out of here, Jokic.
They lost by 6.
Nah, yeah, fuck that. Yeah, fuck that.
Come on, bro. He put up 30.
Nah, man.
Can niggas flip a coin?
You got a coin on you?
We bought a disrespect. I do. My job gave me a custom coin.
I feel like for me to respect it in a loss, it got to be like 45 and up.
Shout out to my job for giving me this big ass custom
What the
coin.
fuck? He got the Two-Face from Batman Forever.
It's real too. But that's just real. They gave me
shit.
this when I joined the team, and basically the inside joke is well, it's not inside if I'm saying it on the pod. I don't even want to show the company logo neither too, by the way. But whoever does what they do is if we go to a bar or something like it happened today, or even just to get lunch, niggas either someone will offer to take the tab, but if nobody wants to like volunteer, let's say at the moment you just want to catch people off guard, you're like, all right, who's got their coin? Slam your coin on the table. Whoever doesn't have it, gotta pay for everybody. So I keep my shit in my wallet. I don't fuck around. After the tab we ran up today, I never want to forget my coin. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That shit look like the coin from Batman Forever.
Bro, it's a big. I'm gonna pause. Wait, actually, I'll just say I'm gonna give it to you after the show. I was about to say something way different, but damn, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to flip it so no one can see the logo, bro. I don't need to get doxxed. But here we go.
Wait, we didn't even agree to
I'm stupid. Pick heads or tails.
heads.
Please, I do feel like Two-Face.
Yeah!
Man.
Jokic.
I felt like Two-Face, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna start doing that. All right, Jokic.
That shit did sound like Two-Face. Like,
congratulations, bro. We already gave this thing this is like his 5th one, bro. It's not even January. Congratulations to Jokic.
I'll tell you this.
Bronny, I would have given it to you. There's no way it will ever even be in consideration, bro. I'm sorry. I love you, bro.
I'll give you this. If Bronny has like a game-winning block in an actual NBA game, despite his stats, you could nominate him again.
I'm not going to do that. 30 is more impressive than a game-winning block.
What if he has like 9, 10?
That's not going to happen.
9, 10, and 5 with a game-winning block.
10 rebounds? That's not going to happen, Justin. Not in the league. Not in the league, bro. Stop. We're not doing that.
9, 2, and 4 with a game-winning block.
If he has 4 points and a game-winning block, I'm giving him that shit then.
4 points and a game-winning block on Steph Curry.
Oh, hell yeah, I would give him that shit. I would even announce MVP of the week. I would come in there and be like, Bronny James, MVP of the week. And then be like, all right, Justin, what are we talking about today? Literally, I would do that shit. I don't give a fuck about Jokic capped 60, 22, and 16. I'm still gonna be like, Bronny. And I'm gonna say, hey, blame Justin. You had a better performance this time than you did when we gave it to you over Bronny. Blame Justin, bro. But Justin, any shout outs you want to give? Anything you want to talk about? I don't even want to ask who you think is going to win this Sunday. You just go, oh, Josh Allen, the Bills, because I'm a fucking Lions hater. So I'm not even going to ask you about that. But
shout out AJ DeBenza, committed to BYU. We all know why.
Paolo, please shut the fuck up too, by the way. No offense.
Who?
Paolo.
What do you say?
Because AJ was like, yo, like, what did he say? He's like, oh, I want to team up with you or something. Paolo's like, you know the league not going to let us do that. Like, it's a conspiracy. Brother, you're the 4 seed. You have no fucking chance regardless. You would think the way that he was playing, that the Magic was playing, like, they was like 5-20. And like, they're just going to prevent him from getting the 1 pick. But hey, he's going to BYU. Might as well get comfortable. He's not going to move. We know where he's going in the draft.
Hey, Jazz fans. They might rig it for you next year. Keep your eye on that.
That's what I'm saying. He might as well get comfortable there. Buy your house there already, bro.
Listen, the Jazz owner went to BYU. Danny Ainge went to BYU.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so
Danny Ainge is Mormon?
I mean, you don't have to be Mormon to go to BYU.
But majority of people who go there are.
So I don't know if he is. Feel free to look it up. I'm not gonna say what I don't know. But yeah, just keep that in mind.
I feel bad for him. He's not gonna be fucking there.
Yeah, that's what I told Eric. But my thing is, like, say if he was to go to like a party at Utah State, could he fuck there?
They're not really fucking there either. It's Utah. The most they could do, especially BYU. BYU's extra. They don't even drink beer in Utah.
Yeah, no drinking, no drugs. No
Utah, you can't even find beer. A lot of people just drink soda and root beer.
What if they go on the Maui Invitational in Hawaii? And
he would.
You think? But
he could soak. You know what soaking is, right? So to get around not being able to fuck at BYU, because you can't lose your virginity, they do an act that's called soaking. And basically, that's when you put your beef inside, but just let it sit there. And I'm really so dead ass. All right, and this is gonna get even funnier. And it doesn't count as fucking, right? Now, I don't know what the term of the assistant is, and this is where it gets really weird. Hold on. But they'll hire a friend or something or someone trusted, because this doesn't count as fucking either. So let's say you're a missionary and you just stick it in, and obviously you can't move, because that counts as fucking to them. But putting it in don't count as fucking. Justin, you're about to laugh at this next part, but I promise you, on my mother's soul, bro, this is real. They'll get like one of their friends or something to start jumping on the bed to simulate thrusting, because technically you're not pushing in and out. It's the force of the bed making you push in and out. So it's like fake fucking, and it doesn't go against their religion. I promise you, you could look that part up too. He could do that instead.
But my thing is, I'm like,
that nigga's gonna live. Hold on, he's gonna live on Batty Hub that whole season.
My thing is, does it only count if he does it on campus, or can he do it off campus?
Well, I think it's just a Mormon thing, anyways.
Oh yeah, it would be a Mormon thing.
But anyway, the thing is, it's not like, oh, because he's there, he has to be Mormon. Like you said, not everybody there is Mormon.
He's not no fucking Mormon. We know why he's there.
But all the girls there are Mormon. And all the girls in Utah State are more likely than not going to be Mormon. So whenever they go and travel to play USC or something, that's when he's got to get it on.
So, okay. Okay.
And that's if his coach even lets them go out like that, which I doubt. It's just be, yo, let's go to practice. We're gonna play the game and go home. And they're gonna like when you guys went to Disney. What was it that they put on the doors? Like the tape or something?
They put the tape on the door.
They're probably gonna tape the door too. So I don't think it's just gonna be baddie hub for him. I feel bad. I really do feel bad for him. I'm not even trying to be funny.
I mean, he's getting like $8 million.
Doesn't matter.
NIL.
Can't even fuck.
That's gonna be tough.
He could have went to USC. LSU.
You know what his top list was?
What? His
final list was BYU, Kansas, UNC, and Alabama.
I know UNC.
That was his final list.
UNC would have been a big W. And out of those, I would have went to UNC because I'm not gonna lie. You can say, "Oh, but Alabama, so and so and so." You're overshadowed by the football team. Like that. I wonder what it's like to.
I would have went to Kansas if I was him.
I'm not gonna lie. I wonder what it's like to go to a school for the sport that's not the it sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would feel stupid if I went to Duke for football. Not to say that team's ass, but it's like, the basketball team's getting all the attention. And it's vice versa for Alabama. Imagine you trying to go to a party at Alabama as a basketball player. Like, Colin Sexton was probably getting curved. Who was going to school with him by that time? Was Tua going to school?
What, he was.
I think Tua was with him.
2018 draft.
2018 draft.
Yeah, Tua was there.
Tua was there as a young man.
Josh Jacobs was there. Devontae Smith was...
Bro, he was getting curved at all the parties.
Devontae Smith was a freshman.
And then the other way around with like Duke. It's like, look, I like Daniel Jones, but...
He was there when RJ and Zion was there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They didn't give a fuck. They was giving Cam Reddish more attention than him.
They was giving Trey Jones more attention.
So I do wonder what it's like to go to one of them schools where it's like one sport is way more popular than the other. I'll be tight, bro. Imagine me committing to LSU as a basketball player. Think I'm the man. It's like, oh, here's Jettas, here's Jamar Chase, here's Joe Burrow all at the party. And it's like, I'm just in the corner like a loser. And it's like, hey guys, I dropped, 32 on Kentucky the other night. No one's going to give a fuck. No one's going to care, bro. Imagine going to Kentucky for football. Football.
Yo, imagine going there for football the year they went 38-0.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you getting no attention. And I bet they was ass that year too in football.
Probably.
They probably have 4 wins, 5 wins. No bowl game. 4 wins, let's say. They probably had like 4 wins at that time. No bowl game. I'll be tight, bro. Shout out to AJ, though. Is it worth $8 million to go 1 year? No buns. I don't think so. There's a lot of people who do it for free. There's a lot of people who've done it for decades for free. But a guy like him, bro, I don't know how he could do it for $8 million. That's all I'll say. That's all the shots you got, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Lions. Get that W. I think I already talked shit. Yeah, because when they played the Packers, it was a Thursday game. I already got my shit talk off last episode. But take care of business versus the Bills. Bills just lost, even with Josh Allen having a historic game. I'm happy because obviously I like the Lions way more than the Bills. But I like the Bills. But they're just not my team. But I still like the Bills. They're cool. My team in that conference is the Chargers, though. Shout out to Phillip Rivers. And I do kind of like Justin Herbert. He's no Phillip Rivers, but
coming around.
I fuck with him. He's cool. He's cool as fuck. What do you mean he's coming around?
No, I'm saying you're coming around.
To what? Like in the Chargers?
No, to fucking with Herbert.
Yeah, he's still not better than Goff though. But I like him.
Harbaugh changed the franchise.
I like him, but he's still not better than my guy though. Is what I'll say. But yeah, take care of business, bro.
Let's go, Josh.
Let's go.
No.
We got to get him on the show. Man. Can we get him for NFL playoffs, by the way, please? I feel like that should be funny. We just got to... I think we're going to have to censor a lot of it.
Probably.
We don't even censor ourselves. We got to censor a lot of it.
Hey, Josh, if you win this game, that's going to stamp your MVP right there.
What?
Yeah. I believe so.
It's already stamped, Justin. I like Jared Goff. It's over. He's MVP.
Oh, you think Josh got it? Like
he got it in the bag, bro. Who gonna take it from him? Lamar?
No.
Saquon?
Fuck no.
No. Respect to what Saquon doing, but Josh Allen just had 3 rushing TDs, 3 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, that was insane.
What are we doing, bro? He already locked it up.
Because I remember last year's was so back and forth, and then it wasn't until Lamar beat the Ravens on Christmas. Beat the Niners on Christmas, and then the week after they destroyed the Dolphins, where they was like, "Oh yeah, that's it."
Give me Josh Allen over Lamar, bro.
Oh no, yeah.
Career wise, playoffs, regular season, whatever. Best year of his best year. One last shout out though. I don't know if I gave a shout out to my cousin last week. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think so. Cousin Elias just turned 13. Shout out to that little ass nigga. Shout out my girl. Her birthday's in a couple of days. So shout out to her. We going out tomorrow. I think that's all the birthdays. Shout out my aunt, Lil Maylene. I got 3 Maylenes in my family, and they all sisters.
Wow.
That's a story for another time. I don't know what my grandpa was obsessed with the name Maylene. They all got the same middle name too. So my mom, who was the oldest, flipped it. Cause she was like, why the fuck would you get another Maylene? That's my name, and then she just flipped the middle name.
He said, "Here go 2 more for y'all."
Yeah, here go 2 more for y'all. Yo, I don't know why he did that shit, bro. He named all the girls the same shit, but yeah, shout out to all of them. Justice and walk us out of here though.
If you guys are listening on audio, please give us 5 stars. Please like. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please like, please subscribe. Shout out to y'all. We got to 200 subscribers. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Follow us on TikTok at the J&J Podcast. We appreciate everything.
Shout out Rutgers too. We about to go see Rutgers, which is why we're also going to record a day earlier again.
Yes.
This upcoming week.
Yes.
So shout out to fucking Rutgers, nigga.
Yeah. Shout out Rutgers.
But again, thank you so much, everybody. We're obviously going to see you next time. Most likely next Friday. Peace.
Peace.